Yep. I see it. I'm seeing everything. I'm aware. I'm seeing y'all tweets. I'm seeing y'all DMs. We're gonna break it all down today. We're gonna get to it. Pooh Shiesty's been home for like 24 hours, man. Already, the snitch allegations. But are there legs to it? Is Wack 100 on with this one? Is he off? Is he just doing his typical exposure stuff, having a little bit too much fun calling people out their name when he shouldn't be? Or is there something coming to light there? The Otf Dede one we started to talk about the other day, but I want to revisit some of that with him being called a snitch as well. And there's another one, like the third piece of the stream I want to go to. It seems that Little Durk is having another alleged murder being brought into this case to be put on him. We're gonna look at that. The only disclaimer I want to give y'all before we get rolling is don't get mad at me. All right. Listen, the OTF fans, the Otf Dede fans, the Little Durk fans, the Wack 100 fans, the Pooh Shiesty fans, don't get mad at me. All I'm doing is taking all the information that's on the internet that's coming out, well, some of it, and we're breaking it down. That's it. I'm a fan of some of these guys as well, especially like Little Durk. I'm a big fan of his music. But please, people, this ain't fucking personal. So we just gonna walk and get to this. All right. Refresher first. All right. Pooh Shiesty. He had two situations, two alleged shootings. I'm still gonna say allegedly, just in case, man. You just never know how these lawyers out there be playing. Two alleged shootings that landed him in prison, right? So the first major one, and both of them had footage around them. But let's go to the first one. They say it was over a car deal. They say it was over sneakers. They say it was over weed. A bad drug deal gone wrong. Some people say it was a whole lineup to begin with. Either way, it went down.
Just one station with video of what police say is a rapper unleashing a barrage of bullets in a parking lot. 7's Jessica Holly is live on the scene in Bay Harbor Islands with what investigators say led up to that shootout. Jessica.
It was a shooting in the middle of the day involving a well-known rapper, according to police. We reported this story back in October, but now we're seeing how it all went down. Bullets fly in broad daylight. Two people shot and over $500,000 in exotic cars, all of it caught on camera. This surveillance video is from an October 9th shooting in Bay Harbor Islands, and it has a recording artist who goes by Pooh Shiesty in hot water. Unlike this clip, what happened here is no music video. The surveillance shows a McLaren sports car, Mercedes Maybach, and another Mercedes pull into this East Bay Harbor Drive condo parking lot. Guys eventually get out. The meeting about a pair of high-end sneakers for sale and some money owed. Then this. The man in the white shirt has a pistol. The man in the black sweatshirt is also pointing a weapon. Shots are fired before the gunmen take off in their fancy getaway cars. The victims telling police 20-year-old Pooh Shiesty was behind the wheel of the McLaren, and he was armed with an assault rifle. Police also using these Instagram photos as part of their case. Shiesty with an assault-style rifle and cash. Shiesty, whose real name is Lontrell Williams, was arrested a few days later. He and a member of his entourage charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. And Pooh Shiesty was supposed to have a hearing in this case today. It was reset for February 9th. We're live in Bay Harbor Islands. Jessica Holly, 7 News.
Y'all gonna stop posting them guns, boy. Y'all will stop posting them guns. All right, let's talk about the second situation that was in the club, right? Oy.
New at 5:30, a popular rapper arrested. He's accused of shooting a security guard at a South Florida gentleman's club and will remain behind bars. A judge denied bond for 21-year-old Lontrell Williams, known as Pooh Shiesty. Police say he was performing at King of Diamonds in Miami over Memorial Day weekend when cash was knocked out of his pocket. When the crowd tried to grab it, police say he showed off his gun, and while he was being escorted out of the club, he fired a shot, hitting the guard in the ankle. He's been charged with aggravated battery.
All right. Now let me listen to our homie, one of the lawyers that we pull up a lot for his reactions on this channel. As his case and as his trial was going on, let's see what was being said as he was going back and forth. And I think he was getting sentenced at this point, right? Because he got charged with the first crime or the first shooting. And then while out on bond, the second scenario happened. He ended up getting a nice deal, it seems like, overall. And there was another video I couldn't find this morning to bring up as well. I'll still say allegedly, of that club shooting when Pooh Shiesty was walking out allegedly, he had a shiesty on, and he had a gun in his hand, like walking out of the club, allegedly after the issue. I don't know if it's the same shooting of the security guard, allegedly, but there was a lot going on around Pooh at this time. He's definitely living out his reputation and his lyrics, but I think he did all right as far as how things turned out for him. So let's go to our lawyer guy.
Prosecutors had recommended 8 years. He got 5 1/4. He's already served 1 with good behavior. He'll be Shiesty, sentenced to 63 months. That's 5 1/4 years on his federal felony for conspiracy to commit a violent crime or a drug offense using a firearm. He's already served about 1 year. That leaves 4 1/4 years. Typically, with good time served, participating in certain programs, he can get out after maybe serving 80 to 90% of his time. Look for Pooh Shiesty to be back out and about in less than 4 years' time on the streets. This is an amazing result. He was out on a state charge. He picked up this charge in Florida, which was a federal shooting charge. And then while he had this federal shooting charge, he got another charge for discharging a firearm in a nightclub. That was another federal charge. Prosecutors had recommended 8 years. He got 5 1/4. He's already served 1 with good behavior. He'll be Shiesty, sentenced to 63 months. That's 5 1/4 years.
Okay, so are we caught up? Do we have the backstory of these 2 shootings? A little bit of context as far as the sentence that he ended up getting, what the prosecution went for, what he ended up landing. Sounded pretty good, right? Considering, like, damn, 2 federal charges that he was fighting at the same time. Kind of spooky. All right, inserts the chat. Wack 100. Now, Wack 100, we know over here he has a reputation of sometimes flying off the handle a little bit. Hey man, there's a switch on that gun. I think you should be doing 15 years for that, especially because it was in New York. You only did 8. You're a snitch. I think he needs to chill on that a little bit, but there are the times where he's on to things, and there's other times where he's exposed people as far as their truth. Like, oh, wait a minute, there's some paperwork that just came out. So you always take Wack 100, with a grain of salt, as far as, like, you don't jump out the window with his shit. But he is entertaining, and he will go the extra mile to try to. He just enjoys doing it, exposing rats. Okay, let's start to look at Wack 100's accusations. Now, here's a clip of him talking with academics. Let's start to walk through this.
To acquire marijuana, codeine, and sneakers. During this meeting, members of the group brandished firearms and assaulted victim 1 and 2. Following the assault, the group departed the scene with the victim's marijuana, codeine, and sneakers. Oh, people start talking. This is what they talking about. Okay, yeah, this shit gonna get interesting tomorrow. I ain't seen this work. The footnotes, you gonna read the chapter footnotes?
What? I'm not reading that. But we celebrating Shiesty coming home.
They said all 3 co-defendants proffer and plea deals. They all told on victim 1 and 2. And they said Pooh Shiesty and
that right there. I don't like him paraphrasing, like, because he's talking to act like he's reading it, but he's like, it say they all told that whatever it says, it don't say that, whether it's telling shit or not. Like, if you're gonna read it, do like what we do. You know what I'm saying? Pull the paperwork up. When I read it, I read black and white, word for word. I insert reactions and opinions, but I put the black and white up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't act like you're the fucking phone reading this shit and it's your own words. Like, come on.
his 2 co-defendants told on the 2 victims. Ain't nowhere around it.
Wait,
I ain't read.
How the culprits told on the victims? Like, how the
Right.
I mean, bro, they got all the paperwork to acquire marijuana, codeine, and sneakers. During this meeting, members of the group brandished firearms and assaulted victim 1 and 2.
Okay, all right. So Pooh Shiesty's lawyer came out. He has something to say about all of this. This is not new for us, right? We see this happen a lot. They will have their lawyers come. I'm very surprised we didn't get Brian Steele coming out to speak on behalf of Young Thug. or maybe he had nothing to do with that particular arrest when that interrogation happened in regards to the audio. So Young Thug was just left to fend for himself. But we see lawyers come out a lot. Hell, we see an Adi Boom sit down with his lawyer. Snitch allegations, clarify certain things. People believe that the lawyer is supposed to be the most credible person. I told y'all before, the lawyers are just people, right? They're here to serve their client. I don't take what they say as gold. A lawyer tells 100% the truth. Like, what world y'all live in? A lot of these lawyers know, like, they'll pull a Keanu Reeves and devil's advocate. Like, I know he's guilty, but I have a job to do. They'll do the same for public statements. But let's hear them out. Okay. I just want to set that disclaimer. Look, I don't give a fuck because you passed the bar exam. All right. That doesn't mean I'm just going to jump out the window with what you say.
All right, let's talk morons. Wack 100. I can see where he gets his name because he is Wack. The allegation that Pooh gave up information in this case is so idiotic. Even when he's reading it, DJ Academics is saying what a moron he is. It is next level how stupid he is. Now, if we're saying he's just doing it for clout, if we're saying he's just doing it for views, I would think, okay, that's an excuse. But it really isn't. I really do think he's very stupid. So long story short is Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams gave up no one, absolutely no one. We never cooperated with the government whatsoever. The paperwork that he's reading is that our defense was that we blamed the alleged victims, that the victims were trying to hold up and rob Pooh and his crew, and that's why the guns came out. The victim said, I don't have a gun, I never owned a gun. And through our investigation and the evidence, we found not only did he own a gun, he had a firearm box in the trunk with ammunition in the trunk. Both of these alleged victims were total liars, totally full of shit. And that's why instead of getting 10 years, the judge gave him under 5 years for a shooting case. Not because of any kind of, he cooperated. He didn't cooperate with shit. What was cooperation was the amazing work of his lawyer, me, along with Sam Zegane. I don't want to forget Sam. See my clock in the back. You know what time it is. I don't want to forget my friend Sam because Sam assisted in the case, but absolutely not one single defendant in that case flipped on anybody because there was no one to flip on. They said Pooh was the shooter. They said one of the other guys was the shooter. None of them flipped on anybody. We all went ahead with it. We took the plea, which I wanted to go to trial. I thought it was a good trial as well, but we took the plea and the judge ended up giving us just under 5 years. And with good behavior and an RDAP program, he got out in about 3 and change. So Wack 100, just to recap, Wack 100 is a moron. And what he is reading is as stupid as it sounds. That is all for now.
Okay. Y'all ready? Do we got to walk on that one? I got more. We're not done with this. We have Wack's response to this. I'm going to play that. So let me not even drag it out. I'm not calling Pooh Shiesty a snitch behind all of this. I'm not. But Pooh Shiesty's lawyer opened the door a little bit right there for question. Sometimes that's all the internet needs. Opening the door for question. Do you see what he said? So there's allegedly 2 shooters. We watched the video when we started the stream, right? You see one guy to the right and one guy kind of in the middle with the white shirt. I don't know who's together, whatever, but there's at least 2 guns out, right? In the video, at least 2 guns. His lawyer said, there was on one side a gun and on our side, and nobody flipped on each other. There was nobody to flip on. So you never said that person shot at me. That's cool. But if you say the defense of the other people, the people that you were into it with, was that they never had any guns, but then you and your side did an investigation to prove that, no, they did have guns. Y'all street niggas, y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. Now, here's another piece of it. Y'all figure out these rules, streets. Cooperation or damaging somebody else's defense that is fighting a crime through your lawyer. For example, what Big Meech was going through. You got the dude, what's his name? Cuffy or whatever, sitting in jail right now, calling home saying, Big Meech did third-party cooperation on me. Now, we read the paperwork, and there was similarities in that. I said, wait, ain't nothing in here. Hey, 50. Ain't nothing in here black and white saying that Big Meech told. So you gotta give him that. But there's a lot of shit we're reading in here with this girl Tammy and her in the car with the detective, and how the calls are being made between Meech and Tammy, and then this deal being set up, and some of these accusations and third-party cooperation. And I don't know. It's possible, but it's not proven, and it's not in the paperwork officially. So do with it what y'all may. You know what I'm saying? This right here with this lawyer saying this, I don't think he realizes what he just said is one of those scenarios almost like Roscoe and Young Thug. Like, I see what you're trying to do here. But the moment that you said, hey, that's what you're supposed to say. We're supposed to say we sell Lil Wayne weed. It's like, are you? Are you really? So is that the rule? Hey, y'all teach me. I'm learning as we go, obviously. So if I'm up here fighting, I was there in the shootout, but y'all charging me with assault or shooting or reckless endangerment or whatever my charges are. And I'm saying I don't got no guns. Did you find a gun? Do you got a gun on the table labeled as evidence omission A or B or C? You got a gun? Nah, I threw that shit in the fucking sewer. Do you got a gun? No. But your defense over here, Pooh Shiesty, because there's two defendants. It's this group of shooters allegedly and this group of shooters allegedly, right? Two different defendants. And this one is saying, no, we're going to prove that you had guns. So we didn't just pull our guns out for no reason. We pulled our guns out to defend ourselves because you had guns too. Well, what's the rule? The moment I say you had guns too, what's the rule? It's not my words. It's what the lawyer just said. What's the rule, I ask? I got one more for y'all before I move on. Because this ain't just ARP talking and making sure that I say, I want to leave y'all with the question. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm not saying, yes, somebody did wrong. No, somebody did bad. I'm just making y'all question it. That's all I'm doing right now. And I want to give you one more. And if I had enough time this morning, I would have went into my storage room and pulled out that XXL magazine with Sean on the cover. The elaborate interview that he did talking about that night in question. Sean is the perfect example of I can't even say anything that'll damage the niggas that might have been shooting at me or the niggas that might have pulled guns on me or the niggas that I was allegedly into it with. He's in that XXL magazine and in that article talking around everything. He's not even going close to it. He's just always maintained like, listen, like I did what I had to do. But he just always stopped short of saying like these niggas pointed guns at me. It was all self-defense. He never did that. He never wanted to point out his ops. He never wanted to say who they know who they are. They were Diddy and Sean. They always like, well, not Diddy, Sean. He always was like kind of alluding like we know what's going on, but he stopped short always of it. And it's just like one of the clearest moments in hip hop of watching these guys going in and out of these legal systems, of watching a rapper not harm his ops with his words or within his legal process at all. Did they ever get arrested? The other people that were allegedly shooting that night in the club? Did they ever get named? I don't believe so. Right? But if not, that's because of Sean. Oh, I wish I would have just had enough time to go grab that fucking article. I would have opened it up and read. I kept it. I would have opened it up and read his fucking words here for y'all. I might be able to find it on the internet. We might do it tomorrow. But Sean is one of the realest examples in hip hop history of fuck them niggas. Them niggas is the reason why I'm in the middle of this shit. Maybe deal gone wrong. Maybe y'all pulled y'all guns first. Maybe whatever. Maybe it was over J-Lo. Who cares? But I can't do nothing to implicate y'all. Nothing to hurt y'all. Nothing to make y'all deal with them people. Fuck it. Give me my 10. The realest example that I can remember. The lawyer just opened up question and conversation. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's see Wack's response to the lawyer.
Wack 100. I can see where he gets his name because he is Wack. The allegation that Pooh gave up information in his case is so idiotic, even when he's reading it.
The allegation that Pooh gave up information on this case is idiotic. I didn't say it. He said it. Keep listening. For some reason, every time I try to take the high road, somebody come over here and bother me. I got online with Pooh Shiesty's dad. His dad put me with one of the attorneys. It was a black individual. And if you go on this channel 11 months ago, you'll see we did a 2-hour interview with this individual. And my mission was to clear Pooh Shiesty. I like Pooh Shiesty. I think Pooh Shiesty's cool. I've met him personally. I know his dad. I know people around him. But now, for some reason, I got this attorney, whoever this dude is. They say he's a pretty prominent attorney, but he ain't above getting violated and exposed. He calling me all out my name and all kind of crazy things. And the dude insinuated I was clout chasing. Now here you are, we got an attorney, Caucasian guy, and you on urban social media, screaming Wack 100 name, talking about I'm clout chasing.
Wack 100. I can see where he gets his name because he is Wack. The allegation that Pooh gave up information in his case is so idiotic, even when he's reading it.
Sit your ass down.
The allegation that Pooh gave up information on this case is idiotic. I didn't say it. He said it. Keep listening.
Academics are saying what a moron he is. It is next level how stupid he is. Now, if we're saying he's just doing it for clout, if we're saying he's just doing it for views, I would think, okay.
I'm doing it for clout. I'm doing it for views when I'm dancing around with my team, the exposures are presenting me. But yet we got a white dude, he look like he about 67, talking about Wack 100.
Let's just end that right here. I can't chat. Let's just pay attention to the details. I don't give a fuck about white, black. Here goes a white guy on black social media, and I thought he posted it on Instagram. So, I mean, I don't care about none of this shit right here, all right? None of this, it doesn't matter, black, white, fucking Hispanic, Asian. Let's get to the details.
Well, I don't feel like I made it, Brad Cohen, because you said that. But again, we're going to rewind because I want y'all to hear what the intelligent dude that's calling me stupid is about to do to his own client. Let's rewind this.
Excuse. But it really isn't. I really do think he's very stupid. So, long story short is, Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams gave up no one. Absolutely no one. We never cooperated with the government whatsoever. The people...
Lontrell Williams never gave up no one. He never cooperated with the government, ever. Pay attention.
He's reading is that our defense was that we blamed the alleged victims, that the victims were trying to hold up and rob Pooh and his crew. And
Uh-oh. Brad, you can't do that. There's more, y'all. Now remember, I'm stupid though. Pooh, look, I ain't doing it. This your man, right? I was prancing around it.
He gave him alley-oop, man. And you see, he just said, this is my first time watching it now with y'all. He said, I was prancing around it before I paused it, right? Wack being Wack, playing in the space of, hey, man, you're home a little early, or you should have more time, or I just like calling people with high-profile snitches, and you know what I'm saying? But the lawyer gave Wack an alley-oop there, whether he knows it or not.
I got a call this morning from two dudes from Chicago saying, Wack, you selected politics and we see you dancing. You just said it. Look, listen, we're gonna run this back.
This bad work.
We're gonna run this back.
all right, let's talk morons. Wack 100. I can see where he gets his name because he is Wack. The allegation that Pooh gave up information in his case is so idiotic, even when he's reading it. DJ Academics is saying what a moron he is. It is next level how stupid he is. Now, if we're saying he's just doing it for clout, if we're saying he's just doing it for views, I would think, okay, that's an excuse. But it really isn't. I really do think he's very stupid. So, long story short is, Pooh Shiesty, Montrell Williams gave up no one. Absolutely no one. We never cooperated with the government whatsoever. The paperwork that he's reading is that our defense was that we blamed the alleged victims, that the victims were trying to hold up and rob.
He said, our defense is that we blame. Damn, he said, let me play it one more time. Like, yo, the lawyer saying some shit that's like, it's not gonna help Pooh Shiesty's case, buddy. Like, is there a disconnect? Maybe Wack was right when he was doing the black and white thing earlier. We did that within like the last month, right? Where I had to pull up a lawyer and I was just like, yo, what you're saying is, you get it? Maybe there's a disconnect. Maybe the lawyer culturally doesn't understand like what he's saying there is the streets is going to chew that up. Like, maybe Wack was right when he was trying to separate from a racial standpoint. And it's not about the race. It's just about the understanding of code or streets or rules, some of which are very, very dumb, which is why over here we're gonna stay with the civilians and tax-paying, law-abiding citizens, because they got a lot of stupid shit that they gotta embark on. And I'm cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I see a couple of those in the chat with the pleather hat. I appreciate it. But it's still y'all rules though. It is what it is. Y'all can't do that. No. And that's why I gave the Shine example. Like, what are we doing here? Now, I guess there's still a barrier there of the lawyer's approach, but that's going to be another one that's going to be gray for God knows how many years. What's the difference between the defendant taking the stand and pointing fingers or writing the statement or yes, ma'am, and the judge, right? All these different conditions where it's directly we see the defendant is there versus the defendant shutting up, being quiet, supposedly minding their own business, and the lawyer just lawyering. Is there a separation there? That's another question that I'll open up for y'all.
The alleged victims, that the victims were trying to hold up and rob Pooh and his crew.
He said it.
Victims, that the victim work that he's reading is that our defense was that we blamed the alleged victims, that the victims were trying to.
And what do you mean by our? You see what I'm saying? Like our, as in like what, you and Pooh? Like he's saying it again. Our defense is that the one more time.
Is that our defense was that we blamed the alleged victims, that the victims were trying to hold up.
Our defense is that we blame the victims. Even the word blame is like catastrophic there. That's your finger pointing. I learned the English language and I'm listening, and let me stop for a second. Am I tripping? Am I hearing a different language? Did he not say our defense was blaming the victims, the people that got shot, which was the ops that also was, there wasn't just shooting at each other, at friends. It was y'all versus us out. No, what am I missing, people? Let me stop for a second. Did he take the stand? I don't believe so. Did he have a statement? I don't believe so. Utrada says, I have seen police try to make people look like they were snitching in order for them to actually become an informant. Yes. Dirty game. Dirty game. Chat says, our defense was we blame the victim 100%. Lawyers would do that. It's court. Yeah. Nothing to do with Pooh Shiesty. How is it nothing, though? I just want to be objective. I'm not saying that Pooh Shiesty snitched in this situation. I just want to be objective. How is it nothing to do with Pooh Shiesty, though? Well, let me give you an easy one, like a stupid hypothetical. It's me and my partner that robbed the bank, and we have different lawyers. Okay, my lawyer gets up and argues his point that I wasn't involved with anything. I was just walking down the street and I happened to be wearing a shiesty. Whereas the co-defendant, he's the one that really did it. And my lawyer's actually saying the co-defendant, because that's the one on camera inside the bank. He's the one that did it. does anybody have a problem with me because my lawyer is saying my co-defendant is the one that robbed the bank? That's the question. That's what I just opened up on my last reaction, saying how much separation do y'all give the defendant versus the lawyer lawyering? Because lawyers can help get people time based on their defense. He said our defense was to blame. He even saying the word our. You know, he should have just said my defense then. That would have helped a little bit more, right? But I'm just opening up the question.
And rob Pooh and his crew, and that's why the guns came out. The victim said, I don't have a gun, I never owned a gun, and through our investigation and the evidence, we found not only did he own a gun, he had a firearm box in the trunk with ammunition in the trunk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Sean wasn't going for that.
Both of these alleged victims were total liars, totally full of shit.
That's what we do. The street people lie to law enforcement. The victim said, we ain't had no gun. You telling me, Brad, the smart guy, not gonna call you out your name, you and Pooh decided to tell the truth. The streets don't tell the truth, Brad. Earth to Brad. Anybody home? I really want to call you out your name, but I'm not. R&B has me on not calling people out their name punishment 24 hours. I'm not going to do it, Brad. But you just admitted, it's more, y'all. You just admitted that the victims told the police, hey, we ain't had nothing. But you're saying your defense was to tell the police they had guns. Pooh Shiesty, you're saying, got with you. And you guys is telling the police when they saying we ain't had no guns. Yes, y'all did. We can't do that, Brad. No, this ain't Harvard. The closest thing to Harvard we come is Harvard Park, and that's it, dude. Real. Shout out, little man. Listen, Harvard. Brad, you just put the noose around your Pooh Shiesty's neck. But I'm not gonna say it. I'm not even gonna insinuate. But I'm gonna keep playing it. This is wild.
That's why, instead of getting 10 years, the judge gave him under 5 years.
So because he told on the victim, instead of getting 10, the judge gave him under 5. Hey, this is Brad. This ain't me. Go sit back and let Brad do the job for you.
In case, not because of any kind of, he cooperated. He didn't cooperate with shit.
He didn't cooperate. Brad, Earth to Brad, when you tell the DA, AUSA, whatever you want to call them, hey, they had guns. And they're saying, we didn't have guns. Yes, they did have guns. That's called cooperating, Brad. Let's keep it going.
What was cooperation was...
There's a lot. I don't know about this one. B says, if Pooh Shiesty told he never did a day in prison, Pooh wasn't a shooter. Huh? I love the chat this morning, but you got snitches doing time right now. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they'll get reduced sentences. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean if you told you would never did a day in jail? What? If people tell for reduced sentences, they'll tell for better plea deals. They'll tell. I mean, do I really need to explain this? You know what I'm saying? But keep the comments coming, y'all. I'll see y'all.
The amazing work of his lawyer, me, along with Sam Segede. I don't want to forget Sam. See my clock in the back. You know what time it is. I don't want to forget my friend.
Did he just say that? You see my clock in the back. You know what time it is. That's way worse than saying I have black friends. Let's keep it going.
Because Sam assisted in the case, but absolutely not one single defendant in that case flipped on anybody because there's no one to flip on. They said Pooh was the shooter. They said one of the other guys was the shooter. None of them flipped on anybody. We all went ahead with it. We took the plea, which I wanted to go to trial. I thought it was a good trial as well. But we took the plea, and the judge ended up giving us just under 5 years. And with good behavior and an RDAP program, he got out in about 3 and change. So Wack 100, just to recap, Wack 100 is a moron. And what he is reading is as stupid as it sounds. That is all for now.
Now, maybe Brad has dementia. Maybe Brad is off one of them perk 38.
Gotta be.
Brad, you're calling me a moron, and you're calling me stupid. And you just proved Ghost's point. See, attorneys, one thing about us, we understand is different jungles, is different rules to the jungles. Ghost will be coming up here. Ghost is the exposure that has been leading. He's been leading the way on this Pooh Shiesty day, right? I believe Prince and Lavish, they've been doing some footwork, and they'll tell you, they know when I'm kind of like shying away from some things, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I selected politics. Wack 100 likes Pooh Shiesty. I think he's a cool dude. Pooh, whoever this attorney dude is, he is forcing me. I didn't see you defend me. He's forcing me to defend myself. Right? Okay, so I'm not the one that went digging. I was the one that defended. If he can go see that on this channel 11 months ago, you will see his name. And me combating Loose Cannon, because Loose was going at the attorney, because I was trying to clear up the allegations. Right? So it all went away. Quite naturally, Pooh coming home. People was excited. People talking about music. People talking about what they're talking about. But I'm not going to front. The attorney that I had on, there was some discrepancies about something that we had asked. And he told me he would send me the documents to clear that up. Y'all can go for yourself. It's a 2-hour segment. And he never sent the documents to clear it up. Usually Wack would take that, double back, and attack that. I didn't. I let it go. Now, I don't know why this pretty prominent attorney, white dude, last time somebody did this was a Kardashian's attorney, and I made him eat those words. Look, man, all rules is all rules. The crazy part about this is that, oh my God, wait, is this the same attorney on that Melly fired?
Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's the same one.
This is Bradford Cohen that attacked me? This is crazy. Hold on, bro. All right. So I wake up and people telling me, Wack, did you hear what Pooh Shiesty, the attorney, said? I said, absolutely not. I go to it. I wasn't expecting to hear nothing crazy, but I guess the other night on Academics, he asked me about it. I said, well, the exposers have dug some things up. They've been sending me a bunch of things. I haven't opened them up. There are footnotes to what they're sending me. So I read the footnotes. I hadn't looked at the paperwork, right? Now, to those of you guys that are civilians, sit back, watch the show. To the people that are from the streets, again, I keep telling people, these street rules, they're irrational. Some of them don't make no sense. But this is what you signed up for. You want to be part of the streets? Certain things they say you can't do. For instance, if I go somewhere and I get into it with somebody, or whatever it may be, and that person pulls a gun on me first, and I was able to get to my gun and shoot him, and I get away, and I get caught. The street code says I can't tell the police or the DA, he pulled a gun on me first. I can't do that. These are rules of the streets. I didn't make this up. This was here before me. Again, I'm not saying it's the correct rule, but I'm saying it's the written rule of the streets. This is why y'all need to go cop the 13 Commandments of the YNs over there on Amazon. Just go in and put Wack 100 books. It's 71 pages. 13 Commandments gives how the YNs think. Versus it gives how the YNs think their new law versus what the old law is. It gives you example story, and it gives you case study. The first one is, you snitch on me, I can snitch on you. Hey, I'm from the Old Testament. The New Testament is the YN's frame of mind. Don't look at this as Wack's rewriting the rules. No, I'm simply alerting those to what the new rules are when it comes to how these YNs is thinking. So you ain't sitting in the holding tank or in the courtroom saying what happened. What you mean what happened? I tried to warn y'all. Now, Bradford Cohen, I'm not going to call you out your name. You're an attorney. You're an educated man. You're a bright man. But I don't know, maybe you are a little racist. Maybe this is why you chose to call this black man dummies and whatever you chose to call me and tell me I was clout chasing. Listen. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because Ghost is here, and Ghost is the one leading the charge on this.
Facts.
He's leading the charge on the whole Pooh Shiesty, what he found. What he came with in the last couple of days, we didn't have this. This is what we was asking the attorney to send us. That he said he was going to send us, and he never sent us. And now I see why he didn't send us. Again, I like Pooh Shiesty. I respect his father. I like the people around him and the people he's tied to. I respect Gucci. But Bradford Cohen, you know you didn't fucked up, don't you? Not only did you force me to defend myself and my name, but you yourself, you took away everything I was attempting to use it against my own team to try to sway them away from what they were saying. You did it yourself.
All right, Wack. I want to go back before we close out this Wack and Pooh Shiesty piece. So the Shine article I was telling y'all about, my old ass is talking about the hard copy. I was like, yo, let me go get out my storage room for the stream, but I don't got enough time. I think I found either it or a similar one because he's had a couple ones over the years, right? Definitely when he got out while he was inside, and maybe two while he was inside. But I might have found one of them relevant to the point I was making. So let me bring this up with y'all real quick. All right, let's take a look at this Shine XXL shit. Do I have a date on this one? Let me see. The XXL Shine's XXL cover stories through the years. Published October. All right, so this was published October 6, 2014, but one was 5 years ago today, October 6, 2009. Shine emerged from. Okay, cool. There's some questions in here. Maybe I could find that piece that I was talking about. All right, you appeared on Politically Incorrect recently, so this must be when he was home. One thing that rap star needs to do to succeed financially. Nope, I don't care about that. Where's the shooting shit? Here you go. Here you go. It seems that more than one gun was fired in Club New York that night. Why do you think you're the only one who's been indicted with attempted murder and assault? Not like this situation where you got two different groups getting indicted. Shine on his own, all right, for the attempted murder. That's just how they be living, playboy. Them kids don't come to play. You get caught up in their backyard, they're going to jam you. The DA can charge you with anything. If he had an inkling, he could have charged me with murder. Anybody can get indicted on anything. Keep it all the way real. And the DA ain't coming there with no goodwill, okay? 2 shots fired from the burner I had to have a gun. But that don't mean I tried to kill nobody. Niggas was busting at me. Niggas tried to kill me. And I was just trying to defend myself, and I still ain't even aim at nobody. I just shot up in the sky like, yo, man, let me get up out of here. So he's saying his shots was to clear it out. Because remember, there was innocent bystanders. I was like hitting the face and shit in that shooting. So his whole thing is I shot up at the ceiling, man. I don't know nothing about none of that other shit. I was just trying to clear this shit the fuck up out because I could have lost my life. All right. You fired twice? Yeah. I mean, niggas is saying they heard 7 shots. That means, yo, it was 2 more guns fired, and I didn't even fire first. All these people claiming that as soon as they heard the shots, they got hit. So that means somebody else hit them. And the ballistic experts is talking about, yo, it could have been a 40 caliber that hit these people. You know, the fragments is in Honey's face. That's the innocent bystander I was talking about. Could add up to a 40 caliber, and they saying that she didn't get hit with a direct shot, because if she did, she'd have died. Or getting hit directly in the face with a 40 caliber, almost any caliber, to be honest, but a 40, Jesus Christ. Whose ballistic expert was that? The DA's ballistic expert and my ballistics expert. Okay, all right. Do you know who that was? I ain't gonna get into all of that, playboy. Here you go, stopping short once again. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but somebody tried to kill me up in there that night, man. Okay, there he goes with that stopping short shit. Like, I ain't doing it. Okay, cool. Let's see what else he got here. Well, why don't you walk me through it? The way it's been reported, you, Puff, and Jennifer Lopez and Wolf were leaving the club. Okay. Which witness was that? He knew this bitch was lying on Puff. Okay, so that's somebody that they thought was being called by Puff's team, I believe, if I remember correctly, to testify against Shine and lie. And people always looked at Puff like, yo, that's some dirty shit. If so, I don't know. Look at the irony of where Shine is today and where Diddy is. They just traded spots. Which witness was that? No, where's has anyone stood up in court and said that's a lie? All right, this is about this alleged shitty witness. All right, has all this come out in court? Yeah, nigga, them phone records. That nigga's a rat. Okay. Let me ask you, at the moment, that what caused you to pull your gun? What do you mean what caused me to pull my gun? Question. What happened? Answer. They fired at me, man. Somebody tried to shoot me. Okay, but you don't know the name of the person? His answer. Dog. Like, what are you asking me right now? It was the person standing next to Scar. So the interviewer knows some things here. The interviewer had these questions lined up, and he already kind of evaded it earlier in the article, and this interviewer is doing their job. Next to Scar, this person knows exactly who they're trying to identify. And the answer here, Playboy, you got to respect my gangster, man. I already told you. I ain't get up on that stand and start talking. I ain't going to start testifying to you. So Shine clearly has an answer too. This guy knows who he's going after, or female, whoever's interviewing. And he clearly knows who, you know what I'm saying? Dog, don't believe me, nigga. The evidence is there. They got 2 40 caliber bullets in the ceiling. They got 3 40 caliber shells on the floor. So don't take my word for it. You got David, whoever that is, telling you. You got the other nigga, Tavon Joins, telling you. So these are all DA people and evidence ballistics people. And you got the evidence there, dog. The club owner came on the stand and was like, ain't never been a shootout in 3 years he had at that club. So them bullets came there that night. And they say Puff had a 9. So it wasn't his burner. Oh, he even defended Puff right there. All right. That could be the same article. Either way, point still stands. I don't know. I just want to leave those 2 questions. The lawyer saying our defense, our keyword our, then defense was to prove that the other side had guns. Right? You guys do with that as you may. You guys do with that as you may. That's just a question. I'm gonna leave it there. I ain't gonna do too much else. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Lil Durk. Before we revisit the OTF Dede piece, is there a new murder that's coming in for Lil Durk as far as what he's going to be fighting at trial? So this has began to go around on social media. I saw this post and it says Lil Durk is being named as one of FBG Cash's killers. Okay. Now, you speak to a Lil Durk fan, somebody that knows all of his shit, his social media, his songs, his posts, his whatever. They're gonna say, nigga, we've been knew this, allegedly. But what are the people going after? You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta chill on the checks and balances chat when I'm on IG. Y'all is popping up. Lil Durk is being named as one of FBG Cash's killers. It's not going to be new thoughts. I should say new allegations for many people. Why, ARP? Because self-incrimination is a bitch. But we could even go back to FBG Cash. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to him. But he spoke about his back and forth between him and Lil Durk. And he kind of alluded to like Durk threatening him, right? So let's start here.
So why'd you take that picture with the King Von mural?
Durk told me to.
How did he tell you to?
He through text. Now he blocked me now, but yeah, through text.
Sneaking pics back Von Moore like little bro won't come out and speak. He ain't blast his ass. I don't even ask when it come to cash, they catch him blast his ass. Better keep your gun.
I don't even ask when it come to cash. Yo, Durk is crazy. Durk is crazy, B. Durk, what's wrong with you, B?
Like Lil Bro won't come out and spin. He ain't heard up.
Taking pic by Von Mural. Like, you're just making me play this one more time for y'all.
Nah, he blocked me now, but yeah, through text.
Sneaking pics by Von Moore like Lil Bro won't come out and spin. He ain't heard up. Blast his ass. I don't even ask when it come to cash, they catch him blast his ass. Better keep your gun for Booney. Better.
I don't even ask when it come to cash. You catch him, blast his ass.
Keep your gun for C. Think I planned it, come and see. You
gonna end up by that tree.
End up by that tree. I know that he see. Mention my brother, you die with a bitch. You go. The money I knock you out your shoe. That money I get you dirty, you knock out your shoe.
All right. Now when we go to Lil Durk, even what he turned into a song, right? This is where it came from. Them just all sitting down there, allegedly bragging, talking they talk, having a good old time, right?
Don't see. You gonna end up with have your gun for them. You better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
And I got my gun for Boone. They call him Chief. Man, we should have killed him sooner because he a thief. They have your gun for them. You better have.
My nigga said, you know that we did it. All right. And this was a big subliminal amongst a lot of Durk fans. I'm just calling it what it is, right?
Headshot, 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 headshot.
They're stepping on cash at the end of the video. You want to play it again? Oh, my bad. My bad. Everybody pointing down and shooting and stepping on cash. Now, everybody knows what getting stepped on means, right? And then stepping on money. I mean, it is what it is. As far as the subliminals that's in the music, that's on the social media, that's in the videos. It's insane. It's insane. So if that comes in, the internet already knew a lot about those allegations. What did them people know? Who knows? Would it be something that the guy would have to fight a strong battle against? I would assume so, because of the trace work and the evidence related, and the motive is already established, right? You guys is into it. You got interviews by FBG Cash that them people probably been studying, breaking down word by word, every post, every lyric, every song. If we saw at trial for Lil Durk, oh, by the way, we also believe that, or even if another indictment comes down and he gets another murder thrown on for FBG Cash, let's stop acting, people. Nobody would be shocked. Nobody would be shocked. Hell, a lot of y'all from a Lil Durk over super fan groupie standpoint would be celebrating with him back then when the songs were dropped. Yeah, y'all got him. We got him. We told you don't take no pictures by Von Mural. We told you. We warned you, nigga. You ended up by that tree like we want. Like, I'm just saying, it's so much self-incrimination, and then all the lawyers is left with is it's just art. We're just rapping. This was recorded before it happened. You still got to fight this shit, right? And how's that jury gonna go? Especially if you mount up all these different scenarios, it's like the jury's gonna be like, okay, like even if I don't believe this one, like where there's smoke, there's fire type concept. Like you got 30 situations in front of me, and it's very hard for y'all at this point, from what I'm seeing, to prove that this guy's a fucking angel. All right. The music is the music. All right, let's go to Otf Dede. Let's revisit this. Now, they calling him a snitch. Otf Dede's lawyer throws Durk under the bus to try to get the case severed for Dede. Fourth slide shows that the feds will try to induce testimony from a witness alleging that Durk wanted him and Booney Mo to kill O Block members because they were not retaliating for Von. They also want to introduce evidence of Durk and other discussions alleged violence against Lamron Rico. Now, nobody's telling me or showing me that this evidence was given to the DA from Otf Dede. It's seeming like they just got their hands on this shit, whether through warrants, whether he tapped phone calls, broken into your iCloud, whatever the case may be, even after, you know, the arrest, or possibly getting your hands on some of this stuff. Now, why some of the stuff ain't deleted, but then again, you never know, because you think shit is deleted and it's still right there. But this is what we went over the other day. Otf Dede's motion through his lawyer to sever from Lil Durk. Now, instead of reading this all over again, I'm going to tell you once again what this meant. It meant that, okay, don't try me with Lil Durk because I want to just fight outside myself. And I believe that the stuff that you're going after Lil Durk for could hurt my case or could hurt my fight. And what the lawyer used in proof of that was alleged text message group threads of members, including Lil Durk, saying we want to go do this or pull off this move, or we targeting this particular person. I'm paraphrasing, but it's so alleged, right? But this was the example that the lawyer used. And Otf Dede was on this thread, but never replied on the thread. Okay, just let everybody talk. He's maybe allegedly just reading it, but never said bet it's a go. Oh, I got you. Okay, I'm on it. None of that. So the lawyer is coming for in defense of Dede, saying my client didn't say shit on these threads. So I get that he's on that thread, but what does that mean? Maybe somebody just wanted to put his name on it. All right, that don't mean that he did anything or was willing to do anything or was a part of anything. So if this is the type of evidence you guys are using for Lil Durk, separate us. I want to be over here by myself. Okay. I don't think that is snitching. Even when we discuss like the shit with Pooh Shiesty and what his lawyer was explaining there, like the third party shit or how your lawyer can do things that should make you still look at the defendant, possibly. I don't see that here. I don't see that here. All right. Actually, I think it can help both sides, because if I'm Durk and I'm in my case and you surrounded me with all these other members and saying I'm the leader of that, if some of these people are removed from my case, how does that not help me? Go ahead and prove their own guilt, separately. I'm not the leader of nothing is what I want to say. Just like Young Thug, right? And leader, y'all painted me as this leader of YSL. I ain't a leader. What are y'all talking about? I'm just a rapper, superstar out here. And Lil Durk's going to want to take the same position. So I don't see how this hurts. I don't consider this stitching at all. Some people would say, oh, you throwing Durk under the bus by trying to sever from him. Co-defendants don't always have to just sit there next to each other, right? Sometimes it could be beneficial for like, I'm going to go stand over here. You go stand over there. We're not going to talk. We're not going to look at each other. Hey, I don't even know you. Who are you? I never met you before. Did I? That ain't really me on the text message, is it? Why not? Why not? Now, if it's some Shine and Diddy shit, that's not snitching in how people looked at that scenario. They just felt like Diddy put himself with his legal representation in a spot where it was just like, yo, you go talk to him. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not standing next to him. And then, not giving him, not using the same high-powered lawyers, not using the same lawyering strategies, total separation of information, and then alleged false witnesses that came in to testify on Diddy's behalf that indirectly hurt Shine. So that's just like, wait, who is this fake ass witness? Diddy, this is what you're doing? That's the allegations, right? But never that Diddy said Shine, but that he maneuvered in a way where he was just like, shit, he's on it. I mean, in a way that you just don't want to see brothers maneuver. All right. It is what it is. But in this case, I don't even look at it like that. I don't even look at it like Dede's just like shit. I don't look at it in that same sense at all. And we'd be dragging it at this point if I just continue to say I see anything in that paperwork or anything in this severance motion why people are starting to say Dede's a snitch. Okay. So we're not doing the Wack 100 shit. Oh, you separating? Nah. Could be a good tactic, definitely for Dede, and could work and help Durk as well. You just never know. Much will come from this trial, and now that we see the trial date, right around the corner, obviously things are heating up. All right, so we're gonna keep walking it down. All right, let's leave those two topics alone. We done. Flash news segment. We ain't gonna do too much, but I did see the clip of Mano asking Jim Jones once again about Max B, and let's see what Jim Jones' response was.
Hold on. You've had past differences with people. Some people you was able to get past that. Right? Max B coming home. Where we at with that? Are you able to get past that?
No.
Now we could pass now. We could get past that now. You want to get past it, or you want to dive more into it, or you want me to tweak?
I want you to pass it.
You want me to
point.
tweak
Want me to
out?
crash out?
I definitely don't want you to crash out because I don't want to crash out. Now, what I want for myself, I want for my brother.
I appreciate it.
You see what I'm saying? Because there's too much money out here, it's too much life out here, and I like to do the things that I like to do. Ain't nothing feel better than living right now.
You're right.
Being alive and getting money and fucking waking up.
No better feeling. There's no better feeling ever in the world.
Huh?
It's no better.
He was about to say fucking these bad bitches, but he probably got a girlfriend somewhere. He caught himself like, oh shit. I saw that, Mano.
No better feeling ever.
Gotta move. But I would love to see you get to a space like that. And I brought that question up because it's like them niggas was able to get past that and certain shit happened. People died and all that. And they was able to get past that. That's why I asked you that. How you feel about that, Spizzo?
About what?
About getting past.
About what?
Wife and Lucci.
Wake up, Fab. Wake up.
Past they shit.
Yeah, I mean, Young Thug and Lucci doing that song together made a lot of people just have split reactions and split feelings about that because lives was lost. Okay, there's just points of no return. It is what it is, but seeing people put down their swords and not beef anymore is always a plus. That's always dope to see. I'm always going to be an advocate for that. Normally, Jim don't even let people ask him that fucking question about Max. He be snapping out on interviewers for asking them. He be checking people. He be getting upset. But he has a lot of respect for Mano. You know, they're actual friends. And he let him ask him. But at the same time, he threw like a little warning out there saying, like, you want me to tweak out? You want me to crash out? If you want to keep discussing this? So Jim is warning him, like, I'm going to turn up. And I think Mano handled the rest of the question correctly by diverting a little bit, going to Fab, mentioning Lucci and Thug to give his questioning why he even brought it up, you know, some more backing. You know what I'm saying? So I think Mano handled that very well. On this podcast with Dave East, Fab, Mano, and Jim Jones, Mano might be the lead podcaster. And I'm not saying he's the best of the group, but he might be the guy to like lob the questions, field the other folks that's on the panel. And he already has some podcasting experience when he was doing his kitchen series, right? The kitchen work or whatever, kitchen podcast, whatever, in his crib during COVID. But I want to see this podcast continue to develop because these guys run around the city together all the fucking time. So them doing content together only makes sense. But anyway, back to Max B. How many times are we going to touch on this? Like every time we see it, because it's always been a huge storyline. She love me. She love me now. She love me. She love me. Yeah, I'd be a DVD era guy to know what I was just talking about, that reference right there. But it's just so much that obviously still burns Jim. We thought the turning of the tide was when Jim took a picture with Max B's son. We thought that was the turning of the tide there. Max B did that call home from prison recently, but he was like, nah, I just want to get past things. I'm cool. He doesn't want to beef with Jim, Max. And I praised him for that. Max is like, I'm past. I've been spending all this time and I just want to come home and be cool. What? There's more. I'm like 90% sure that there's just things that happen in that situation that we don't know. There's already bad shit. We saw how much they was violating Chrissy, his wife, his woman. We see how much, I think that him and French might have even violated Jim's kids. I don't know. You know, there was physical altercations in the streets. Max spoke about them. They was running down on each other at their shows. You know, they caught Jewels and them caught Max in the store, right? We heard that story. There's just a lot going on. It was a real issue. But I feel like there's something else that is just makes it, because even when Max was in jail, the street niggas be on some shit like don't stop niggas from getting money and the niggas in jail and all that. And Jim was still like, I'm not making no moves that help him financially. Fuck him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like not releasing him from his situation. Nothing. There's gotta be more. Like, did Max actually get to Chrissy? Allegedly? Like, is it because everybody, and I'm only saying, I'm not making that up, people. I'm not just like being disrespectful and making that up. Everybody knows, if you come from there, I come from, remember this shit. Max B had the whole campaign of touched it in Miami. Okay. ARP didn't make that up. She touched it in Miami. All that shit. You talk about Chrissy, how they did all this nasty shit together and whatnot. It's not me. It's Max. Don't blame me for my memory. Is it like I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. That nigga Jim is still on podcast talking about you want me to crash out in this conversation. He's still like that over this man. Benefit of doubt. Maybe there's just more. Benefit of the doubt. All right. Another flash news. So these two guys still going back and forth, right? Go Yayo and CJ Casino. Now chain bounties are getting put up. All I want to say is how we ended yesterday's stream was on a very, very positive note. You saw I brought up the Pac AI clip of in the casino walking up on Orlando and saying, "Hey man, you Orlando?" Orlando says, "Yeah, I'm Orlando. What of it?" And Pac hugs him and says, "Man, have a good day," and walks off. And we say, "Man, imagine the chain of events in history if Pac didn't run over there and pop off on this man." You know? And I think about shit like that when I think about chain bounties, because the chain bounties allegedly was even part of the Bad Boy and the Death Row shit. We heard about the fight in the mall, allegedly over chains and bounties on Death Row chains and all type of stuff that may have even carried its way into that Tyson fight. And I like, there them niggas go. It be the chain, no pun intended, the chain reaction of shit. And bounties for chain. What was one? Was the Gucci and the Jeezy one a chain bounty? Right? We're watching people lose their lives over chain bounties. Like, fellas, man, I wish somebody around y'all would be like, man, I don't know if y'all want this. And if it happens, it'd be the Gucci and the Jeezy situation all again. And you see recently now agents, retired agents is coming out calling Jeezy a snitch, talking about them people was targeting him, but whatever happened, happened. Because the streets know the same way as the DA knows of, well, why did the fucking shooter come in the first place? We want the mastermind. To be on the internet requesting or putting out bounties on people's chains, if a random fan does it, they coming for you. And they should blame you for that. It's very reckless, it's dangerous, and I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know what y'all got going on where y'all creating a big feud that is playing out right in front of our eyes, man. That's as positive as I could keep it.
Check me out. Look, I got 10,000. You know what I'm saying? You his curse, all blue, small, tall, however you want it. If y'all run into CJ and y'all see that gorilla chain, I don't care if you bump it to him and it just fall in your pocket or fall in your hand or your lap or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The curb and these fakes, so I don't want that. If y'all find that gorilla piece, I just happen to bump into cuz and get that gorilla piece, I got a dime for you. Pull up, we in a murder with this shit. Nigga, fuck the ops, pick them up. Oh yeah, and I don't want that weak ass, cheap ass, TD jewel ass chain. Fuck you talking about, nigga. I fuck with Ice Champ, Johnny Dang for my teeth, and Mad Haddon for my motherfucking jewelry. If you ain't went to them, if you from Texas, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nick and all them, but I don't fuck with them folks. He ain't talking about that man went to
I can't finish it, y'all. I just need these brothers to survive and get older. And hopefully get to a point in life where they could look back and say, what the fuck was I talking about? What the fuck was I talking about? Let me put them up. So what? He came back and did another video because people was just like, oh, like you're broke, you want the chain or something? Is that it? And then I gotta talk about the jewelers that I normally use. Oh man, I wasn't perfect when I was young, man, but I'm so blessed to be able to look back and see the ignorance. What the fuck are y'all talking about? What the fuck are y'all beefing about? What the fuck are y'all posting about? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Oh, what that was Johnny Dang. What the fuck does this matter in the world? What the fuck does we gotta help each other badly. Continue to push this type of energy, people. It's a each one teach one world, man. Like, save these young people, B. What the fuck are they talking about?
I just thought about something, yo. How the fuck you gonna pay somebody 10,000? You ain't even pay the fucking tranny. You ran out for the fucking tranny. Everybody know you do bad business.
You did. Now he's laughing, you know, but if that's me, let's keep it 1,000. If somebody on the internet puts out a bounty on my chain, let's say a battle rap or a league owner, I see a video, they say, yo, if you happen to bump into ARP, bring me that podcast chain. I got $10,000 for you. Don't you know I'm edgy with even random people? I bump into random supporters in the streets. Don't you know that makes me, for a certain, at least for nothing else, a certain time window of being edgier. I'm already a little edgy, but edgier. You know? Like now when this person walks up on me in the mall, yo, ARP, what's up, man? Stay right there. Hold on. I don't want to shake hands today. Now I'm the asshole. But in the back of my mind, the fan or the support don't even know that shit. Like, the fuck is he on today? He must have woke up wrong. Now in the back of my mind, I got all these comments of motherfuckers talking about like, yo, man, shit, for 10 grand, it's a recession right now. I'll bring you ARP podcast chain. You know what I'm saying? This shit. And both y'all are documenting the beef and what the fuck are we out here talking about, people? I ain't perfect. I got some ignorant shit online too, but at least I have enough couth, maturity to double back and say some of this shit we do is wrong as fuck. What the fuck are they talking about? All right, I'm gonna leave that one alone, man. I'm good there. I'm gonna go to sports and then we done. Now I'm gonna come over to the super chat, y'all. I'm gonna come over to sports. Okay, Bronny, we watching.
Tell me what you notice right here with Bronny bringing the ball up. Just tell me what you notice. Just in that one short play, what did you notice? This is imposter syndrome. I'm not calling Bronny an imposter. I'm saying he does not believe that he's supposed to be there. He's never going to tell you that. He's never going to say that. You can see it in his play. Bronny's being asked to do something that he's not comfortable doing, and that is handling the ball, running the offense, protecting the ball, getting it past half court to set up. That hasn't been Bronny's responsibility since he was like 12 playing AAU. Now, the reason Bronny turned this ball over right here is because his head's down, because he's not comfortable handling the ball. And if you're going to put him in an NBA game and force him to handle the ball,
and he's going to have DeAndre Ayton right over there for the help pass, and he doesn't see it.
Unfortunately, things like this are going to happen. He had 5 turnovers last night. How do you have 5 turnovers coming off the bench? That's inexcusable. When Bronny was going off last year in the G League, I highlighted that. Tell me what you noticed right here with Bronny bringing the ball up. Just
damn, DeAndre, help me out. Let me get a pick, man. Picking and roll off for the pass or something, brother. You standing right there, brother. All right. I will never double back on my first take of all the controversy of Bronny James getting placed on the fucking Lakers. And yes, I use the word placed on purpose. The reason why I will never double back is because when I addressed that, what was it, a year ago? I said, this is a father's job. It's a mother's job. It's a parent's job. It's a loved one's job to get these people in positions of power. If you think as a parent, your job is to just let your kids start at the starting line with different type of parents. I ain't gonna say you're wrong, because not everybody has the ability or the mindset, and sometimes we have to insert ourselves into these cycles to even teach new parents. You know, do I need to go back into my old bag of disgusting cliche thought patterns that we need to break? Things like a silver spoon. You know, oh, you got a silver spoon in your mouth. That means their parents did their fucking job, dickhead. Don't carry that shit. Don't make fun of people because they come from 2-parent homes. Ha ha, you had both your mother and your father. That's actually a diss at certain lunch tables. We grew up fucking acting like you wasn't cool behind that shit too. You know, it's okay to have your mother and your father there. It's okay for your father to be successful or your mother to be successful and to pass things down, pass down some property, pass down some money, pass down some assets, pass down, even if it's jewelry, you know, gold maintains value. You know what I'm saying? Pass things down, man. Don't start that child at the starting line where the other billion kids are. You know, passing down a business, an inheritance, you know, even a fucking life insurance plan, anything is the right thing for us parents to do. All right. And I wanted to revisit that because that is my mentality when I think about what LeBron did. LeBron has impacted the world of sports for the rest of sports history. He's earned the right. And him using his power is no different from what you people look at the white folks for doing, and they're right for doing it, empowering each other, putting their brother, their sister, their family members in these positions of power, handing the business down. The CEO, oh yeah, that's my cousin. What the fuck? And then when we do it, it's a problem. You guys is ass fucking backwards. LeBron is the fucking truth for getting his son on the fucking Lakers. His son. What the fuck else am I supposed to do as a father? Dickhead? Don't get me into no rant mode behind that. We got to end the stream positive. The but to all of it is Bronny continues to get exposed for not being the caliber of a player that should be there. The G League thing I thought was supposed to be productive. He's gotten a little better, right? But when we see him getting better, we're looking at off-season, summer league, G League highlights, and playing the NBA is supposed to be reserved for the elite. The 8th man on the bench will still beat the shit out of you on the court today. That's the level of talent that's in the NBA. And dare I say, I know a bunch of people that look like there's similar talent. I'm talking about personally, of similar talent as Bronny. I do. He's way better than me. I ain't going there, but I know a bunch of people that could get with Bronny. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I played with him even when I was younger. And these people don't get the opportunities to be in the NBA, but that's just how the cookie crumbles about. It's not sometimes what you know or what you can do. Sometimes it's who you know, right? Somebody's gonna help you to get there. But at this point, like, what do you do? Like if this is LeBron's last year, and he finishes his 23rd year. He hits that jersey number that he's wearing this whole time, that Jordan number, ironically. But anyway, and then he retires. Like, what becomes of the Bronnies of the world? It's no different than looking at Thanos. Thanos is on the Milwaukee Bucks because of his brother. There's highlight reels of how horrible he plays at times. When he does do good, it's like a funny thing. Like, look at Thanos going off this game. He caught a dunk, or he was coordinated coming down the fucking court today. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a joke for a reason. If Giannis gets traded to the Knicks, what happens to Thanos? I don't know. Does the organization still feel the need to protect them and give a spot to somebody and minutes, even if they're garbage minutes, give minutes to somebody that they feel like isn't really worthy of being on the court? And we want this. I'm not going to say we. I'm going to say me, because I know it's split out there. I root for Bronny, man. I really, really do. Seems to be a good kid. We know that he overcame that health situation. Your father got you into the league. He worked hard. He did work hard. You don't just step on a court with professionals if you didn't fucking bust your ass to develop your skill and hone your talent. He worked. He's just not that. And I think, last but not least, what's killing him the most, unfortunately, despite what I already broke down as far as his father doing his own job, is the shadow of LeBron. LeBron is argued for the number 1, number 2 spot in all-time history in the NBA. You definitely can't argue him out of the top 5, right? Depending on what type of fan you are. You can't. And there's a high expectation that comes with that if you're his son. It's just how things go. My son walks around calling himself Lil ARP Jr. He's got a chain around his neck that he wears every day. I bought it for him, but ARP Jr. And he sees the way I carry myself, the way I interact with people. He's with me in and out of the airports when I stop and I talk to supporters and everything. And I could be in Home Depot and he'll see people, how they respect me and in the street. And I know he wants to live up to that. Like, I want to be recognized of a certain type of person as well. And you got to be careful to make sure, like, I'm nowhere near that type of, like, if LeBron's a 10, I'm a negative a million. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have that type of shadow that I could cast on anybody. I'm like a M-list celebrity. Okay. But that shadow still is something that you have to make sure the kid doesn't miss out on his own individualism while trying to live up to something else. And it's not only their fault sometimes. The external pressures come. You're LeBron's son. Nobody be paying attention like this to this person that turned the ball over 5 times last night unless you were LeBron's son. You know, they would just take him off the court and say, you're not a ball handler anymore. Come sit over here. That's it. But you're LeBron's son. You know, that shadow is something that you'll never. And the same thing will happen to Bryce if he comes into the league. Same fucking thing. I'm glad you made it to the league. It's just a lot of people, including myself, feel like, man, I don't know. I want to see him maintain professional opportunity. I want him to have a chance, you know, but he's got to improve fast. You know, can't get into no 3rd, 4th year, and he's got to just do better at a professional level, man. He does. Yeah, we mixing sports out. We'll keep our eyes on it, man. It's tough, man. It's tough. All right. This was Jay early on when we started. And then Jay again came from up the road. Boy, you know, we tax homes. You want a whole thing, hit me on a black phone, hood and hot Cheetos, what I snack on. So that's Jeezy. Is that us all there? Hood nigga, what I snack on. Get you Wack Homes. Get you Wack Homes is relevant to today's stream. Good job, Jay. Took me a minute, but I'm there. I'm not stupid. If I catch the lyric, I got you. That in the club is crazy too. It really is. It's all there. Jay says, I wish you wouldn't shake my hand. Verb voice. Boy. What was that about? My bad, Jeff. That was at 8:12. I forget what part of the stream we was at. Don B, our members here, says big P's ARP and the gang as always. Salute, homie. Appreciate you. I don't know if I said anything to you ever since your trip, man. I hope your trip went well. Amen. Chat, is everybody good on the Saturday morning? I got a bunch of shit to do today, so I'm finna get moving, and I do want to still try to order the Exodus card. Try to catch that Rex and Snake Eye. Shout out to TBL. I know they're going through it. I know they lost their Twerking Easy. I saw blogs and reports going around also about A Ward and Jada Nightwing. I think A Ward battled. Did A Ward battle last night? Rex battled last night too, right? He battled the Steams. These battlers is all over the place. But y'all got to get these contracts together as far as, I don't know, man. We can't keep up. Be like, I know it's a bag. It feels like a rat race out there, you know. As far as get into it, book. I know it's a job, and some of these people, this is their primary source of income. But I don't know. Yeah, find a way to space this shit out a little bit. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I do want to try to catch this card tonight. But before then, I got a lot of moving around to do. And I'm gonna get in the gym right now. Okay, let me get that out the way, and then I'm outside. So, shout out to the chat. I will see y'all tomorrow morning at hopefully about before 8 a.m. Right? We was early this morning too, right? We joined at like 7. I'm gonna shoot for that again tomorrow morning. You know, on Saturdays and Sundays we don't have a set time. So I'm gonna see how tonight goes, especially if the stream is running long and I can get on the stream. We'll see. But I'll catch y'all in a second. Be safe. Enjoy y'all Saturday, y'all.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.